Hello everybody, Orange Arrow 100 here, playing Kerbal Space Program. This is only the demo of the Kerbal Space Program, but it's a pretty amazing game. I say it's 20 bucks on Steam. I say you get it, or you can just get the demo. The demo works just as fine. Right there's a little Kerbal. Here is a rocket pod stuck on the moon saying moon or bust. They misspelled moon. Now let's just start a new game. So we're just going to call it demo because that's all it'll let me talk to it. So I'm going to overwrite my last level. And let's get started. So what we're really going to do is I'm going to show you, I'm going to build a rocket, and then I'm going to launch it, and then I'm going to stop the video. Not a big deal. Here's the rocket building facility. Here's our little rockets. Rockets are cool. So that's our rocket. We're just going to bring up the little pod. That can only fit one person, by the way. It's going to bring up the little pod and add on a parachute. That's important. Must have a parachute. And we're going to add the Pegasus Mobility Enhancer, otherwise known as a ladder. We're just going to put those on the outside right there as not to obstruct the exit hatch. Just like that. Then we have to start adding some propulsion. So what I'm going to add this small, tiny little fuel tank. Now what I need to do is add on in structural a stack decoupler. So that decouples right there. And then I can put on that, followed by an engine. I guess I'll just use this 909 engine like that. Look at that pod, isn't that looking sexy? And then we'll take another decoupler and put that right there. And then on the decoupler, we'll also add this nice long fuel tank. And we'll give that an engine of this kind. I believe that's what we should do. Then let's take another stack decoupler, put that on the bottom there. Add a solid fuel booster from propulsion. And then after that we should add on, let's see here. Let's add on some extra tanks on the outside, liquid fuel on the outside, just in a try format like that on the outside. That wouldn't work, that would collide in the rocket, but that would work if it could connect anywhere here. That would work. Let's have it be there. That works? No. Bond. But that's not feeling in the mood to bond. But that is. So then there we'll add on some rockets. We have that solid fuel booster right there. And then what I'm going to do is add some nose cones on those. So it's under aerodynamic, you can add some nose cones like that. Then, there we go. That looks like a pretty awesome rocket. Then what we can also do, to give us a tiny little bit of a boost, under structural, there's this thing, a tri-coupler. Holds on to 3 things at once. So what we're going to do is, we're going to have that bonded to, not an SAS module, we're going to have that bonded to a decoupler, followed by this tri-coupler, and the tri-coupler will be home to 3 of these tiny little tanks, like that, and those will be home to 3 of these little booster engines, like that. Isn't that nice? I think it looks weird, but I also think it looks very, very nice. So then what we're going to do is right there under that engine, or under this engine. Yeah. So right there, we're gonna move all these out of the way, because what we need to do is add on an SAS module that basically controls our spin. We're gonna put the SAS right there, then the engine, then the remainder of the ship, and it's just gonna bond up like that. And then we're gonna go to structural, Let's get a stability enhancer, put that in 4 mode. It's going to hold on at 4 places along the ship. Like that. So what it's going to do now, here's our sequencing. So what's going to happen, those 3 at the bottom are going to go off, along with these going off with it. Then it decouples, then solid fuel booster, then these 3 boosters, as well as the solid fuel. Then those decouple, then the one main rocket, then that decouples, then another main rocket, and that decouples, then the parachute. I guess I can have the decoupling and the parachute in the same one, like that. And then when you're done, press launch. And just give it a second, and you can see right here with my spinning mouse ball of death. Alrighty. So, here we go. There's the rocket that we're going to launch. Here's our little nav ball with a throttle right there. What we're going to do, there's the staging. The staging looks just fine. Docking looks good. Back to staging. Then you can press M. You can see the map of Kerbal, its moon, and then the sun at which Kerbal is around. There is a bigger solar system, but that's only in the full game. Alright, are we ready to launch? So throttle goes up by pressing shift. Throttle goes down by pressing control. But we want throttle at 100% for this. Launch it. Uh-oh. Not good. That is not good. We're already at an angle. Let me change some of this shifting. We're going to crash. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to press control and bring the throttle all the way down. And go to the next stage, next stage, next stage, next stage, next stage. Decouple. Parachute. You know what? I'm just going to say end flight. End the flight. Let's redo that. Alright, here we are. Looking at the nav ball. Just going to take 1 second. Here we go. Rocket. It's going to go off. Hopefully it's going to work this time. Let's do it. Oh, need the throttle up. And let's go. That worked. That worked just fine. So, let's redo that one. I don't know why it's not working. It doesn't have the right liftoff. I believe it doesn't have the right liftoff. I think that's what's going on here. Yeah. You let go. Oh, throttle up. Throttle up. So we put the throttle on. And then we let go and it decouples, but then the engines aren't running. You have to decouple those and then launch. And then after that, we go at an angle because we decoupled early. Okay. That's not good. But here we go. We're off. Into space. We're going. Right there you can see our little Kerbal, Jebediah Kerman. And now that we're about 1,000 meters actually, off, so we're 2 kilometers off the ground, I'm just going to turn down the throttle. As you can see right there, my solid fuel engine is overheating. That's okay, it's almost out of fuel anyways. Huh. Fancy that. Alright, use WASD keys to control. For those of you who don't know what WASD is, it's WASD. Those are the keys that you use to control in Minecraft. In this, obviously, you use WASD to control in a lot of games. There we go, our liquid fuel engines are working. Let's just up the ante and up the throttle. It's running out of liquid fuel kind of fast, that's okay though. Liquid fuel is heavy. Solid fuel gives a bigger boost but runs out quicker. That's a rule of thumb. You can see there's our space base on the little peninsula. Nice place. Got a good oceanside view. And then, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a spin on this. And the spin should get us facing right upwards. Those are out. Decouple. Decouple those. Now I'm running liquid fuel from my main base engine. Like that. Don't I look amazing? Flying up into space. We can press M and zoom in. So there is our current trajectory. It seems like we're going to hit the ocean. That's okay. We can go back to the map and exit the map, and there we are flying. And I can make sure that he evacuates when he needs to evacuate. Right now we're about 36 kilometers above the Earth and still rising. This engine's got a nice amount of fuel in it. We're just going to take down the throttle about a quarter of the way. So we're still going to be going up at a little slower rate, and we'll be conserving fuel. That's helpful. There we go. Spinning kind of at an angle. Might want to do a little bit of editing with that. That's okay though. Also, let's take down the spin. Okay, now we're just flying. This is going to take for a really, really long time, so I'm just going to up the throttle to 100%. Liquid fuel runs out faster. We're going to keep going. Right down there you can see some islands. Islands are nice. So I'm going to go for a spacewalk in a second. Not too long. Just a second. Once we're in space. Here we go. Liquid fuel is running out on that engine. Jebediah Kerman happy as ever. He's like, oh my god, I'm in space. This is pure ecstasy. Not the drug ecstasy, the feeling ecstasy. For those of you who don't know the difference and the proper usage. Alrighty, now that's out. Decouple. Run the second engine. It's out of fuel. Decouple. I shouldn't use those really tiny fuel booster tanks. Those don't work as well. But here I am, flying through space. Rocket's still rising up. And now I guess it's better than ever to go for my spacewalk. Hatch is obstructed, cannot exit. Oh yeah. I'm going to zoom in there. Hatch is obstructed. Hatch is at the top, and that's got a parachute on it. Let's let the parachute go. Alrighty. Evacuate. Hatch is obstructed again. Really shouldn't keep the hatch obstructed with the parachute. Maybe I'll do better next time. So there we go. Kerbal space program. You gotta control these little Kerbal guys. You can even go inside of their little cockpit. There you go. Look at the window. Look out the window. It's got some time warp. You can go really fast. Oh, throttle up. Let me take down the throttle. There we go. Yeah, that's Kerbal Space Program. $20 on Steam. Have fun. Download it. It's a really fun game. You can also just download the free demo and play it. There's not a big difference. You just get more supplies in the full version. Logging off, Orange Arrow 100.